What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be stepping into the lab and taking a deep dive on some of the political culture that's going on right now. So I'm sure many of you know that there's a meme going around, the Let's Go Brandon meme. If you don't know what that is, there's been a growing trend in sports events that people start chanting F Joe Biden. And this was going on for a little bit, and there was a NASCAR race, and the woman that was interviewing the winner of the race, who his name was Brandon, in the background was a chanting of F Joe Biden. And it's very clear to hear that it's F Joe Biden, but whether they misheard it or wanted to not acknowledge of what was actually going on, the reporter said, "Hey, look, they're cheering for you. Let's go Brandon. Let's go Brandon." And from that moment, the meme was born.
As you can hear the chants from the crowd. Let's go Brandon, Brandon.
Now, it's kind of everywhere. You hear "Let's go Brandon" all the time. People are selling t-shirts. The #1 song on iTunes right now is a rap song of "Let's Go Brandon." I think there's another one that's in the top 10. It's banners people are putting in their yard. You've heard politicians say it on the floor of the House or the Senate. I can't remember which one. But it's a growing meme that is poking fun at what is going on from media covering up the atrocities and how bad Biden is actually doing by trying to say, hey, this is actually Let's Go Brandon. But it's kind of taken over that it just means F Joe Biden. So what do we do as Christians? The scriptures are very clear. In 1 Timothy chapter 2, Paul instructs Timothy to pray for the king and to pray for leaders and to live peaceful lives. And in Romans chapter 13, the first half of it, Paul is talking about, hey, we should pay taxes. We need to honor and give respect and submit to these authorities. Now, the submission should not override obeying God, right? Paul broke many laws when he preached. He broke many laws by going out and doing things. The disciples were told by authorities not to speak the name of Jesus, and they kept doing it. So yes, we're to submit to authorities up to the point of where we either obey man or we obey God. So that's where the line is. Because of these scriptures and also the meaning behind Let's Go Brandon, that is something I do not chant. I also really try hard not to smile. Now, I think it's kind of clear that I am not a fan of Joe Biden. I think a lot of what America and even some of the effects of the world are facing is because of his policies and the things that he's done over the last 40 years. I think what they did and what he did in Afghanistan is insane. It's disgusting. There are actually families selling their kids now because the Taliban control Afghanistan and they don't have food, so they're selling their children. I think giving the Taliban $58 billion in equipment and then paying them on top of that ransom to get Americans out, I think there's a lot of really bad things that he stands for, and that's actually not very surprising. That's why I was very opposed to him, because Joe Biden likes wars. He is for wars, and I think Joe Biden will go down as one of the top contributors to human suffering of presidents in my lifetime. And that's even with Bush, who is a war criminal because there were no weapons of mass destruction, and he went in, and that death toll is hundreds of thousands. And Obama bombing weddings or drone strikes on weddings. And anyways, Biden is in that camp of the war machine. Lots of money in it, and he seems to like war. He's also very pro-abortion. The Pope said getting an abortion is like hiring a hitman to take out your child. Biden is very pro-abortion. So there's things that I do not like Biden, but I will not chant Let's Go Brandon. I will not wear a shirt of Let's Go Brandon. I'm not going to post stuff about Let's Go Brandon. I will give respect for the position. I will give respect because God is in control and he tells me to, but I do not agree with him. I think that's something that we need to grow in, is showing respect and yet still disagreeing. You see, Rome was not like this perfect government. It wasn't this perfect world. There was lots of corruption. There was lots of very disgusting things. I mean, the Romans having sex with children was kind of like a normal thing. And I think our country is slowly pushing there. I made a video about that, but I think that's the direction that we're going, is more perversion, the gender lines being erased, men and women, it's no longer a thing. You can be whatever you want. And I think it's these kinds of things that are being pushed by this administration. And so I oppose those things. I will resist those things because they stand in direct opposition to God and his kingdom, but I will still be respectful. I would imagine when Paul wrote this and when Paul told Timothy this and Timothy told the Christians there wasn't like this hoorah, like, oh yeah, great, let's give respect to Nero. Nero was not a good guy. Now this is written before Nero blamed the Christians for burning down half of Rome and started putting them in, what is that thing? Colosseum. Before he started putting them in the Colosseum. But still the call remained the same, even while Christians were being killed by Nero and Revelation was written. There was direct opposition to Nero in the book of Revelation, but it was respectful. And we can do the same thing. And so chanting Let's Go Brandon, or obviously chanting F Joe Biden, is not respectful. And so I will not partake in that. And I would encourage you to think about this, to study out the scriptures, and to see how you can be countercultural. I've said this before, that as Christians and as disciples, we have each other. We need the kingdom. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. And I know that there's people that will watch this video and be like, oh, I can't believe this guy is saying let's not do this. I was against when they did it for Trump. And so I have people that, say, oh, well, look at you, you're pro-Trump. And then I'll have people saying, oh, look at you, you're pro-Biden. I'm pro neither. And so I'm against that culture. We saw Robert De Niro bravely stand up in the Grammys, I think it was, and he said, F Donald Trump.
I'm going to say one thing, F Trump.
Eminem made a whole song about F Donald Trump. There were, national call-outs of, this is not my president. I was like, what is going on? We can disagree. Totally, that's great. But just saying, F this guy, F that guy, we cannot partake in that as Christians. So, lots to chew on, lots to think about. But like I said, as the world gets crazier and crazier, the more and more opportunities you and I have to be righteous and to stand out. That's why we need one another, because the world on both sides will attack us. So I hope you guys are doing well. Until the next one, peace.